Hi, I'm Sailor Eric. If you watched the last episode, you'll know that the rigging of Silverheels got some attention last week. The reefing lines were replaced, the topping lift was replaced, which will be another video, and other things were done, such as cinching down the clew of the main onto the boom. On the mainsail, I plan to demonstrate that all of the newly installed rigging works as expected. I also will demonstrate reefing while underway to give the new reefing lines a test, mainly to make sure I hadn't overlooked anything that would cause something to foul. One thing I absolutely love about sailing in Chicago is enjoying sunsets and dusk in September. I call that time where the city skyline's golden hue is highlighted by the backdrop of dusk as magic time. Sunset comes earlier in September, and as I am an early bird, a sunset sail becomes more accessible to me during this time of year. The colors are especially amazing in these later summer, early autumn months, with greater ranges of red, orange, yellow, blue, and purple. It never gets old to me. Before continuing with the episode, I just want to say thank you to my current subscribers. Your support is greatly appreciated. At this point, let me quickly go over some sailing terms I will be using throughout this video. These terms can generically be used to discuss any sail and can be found in most sailing reference books. The terms are leech, luff, head, foot, clew, tack. And you can see on these photos what each of the terms refer to. If you would like me to cover these terms and the significance of these parts of the sail in more detail, please let me know in the comments below. You can see here, I'm attempting to raise the main to get sailing, and realize in short order that one of the reefing lines is still cleated to the forward part of the boom. Uncleating this new reefing line cleared the tension. Getting most of the height of the sail up, it's time to leverage the winch to bring the last 5 to 10 feet of height up to the mast. This is where the sail is going to be at its heaviest and the mechanical advantage of the winch comes into play. But as I'm bringing up the sail, I have to deal with an overwrap of the line. This is where the line fouls itself on the winch drum. With the overwrap cleared, I expect the sail to go up the remainder of the mast height. But something else seems to be amiss. The luff, or forward part of the mainsail, which goes up the track of the main mast, doesn't seem to want to go up all the way. This can happen when a particular line is caught or tensioned. The usual suspects are the halyard, caught or entwined on a ladder step, a reefing line left tensioned or caught on some deck hardware, a sail batten caught in a lazy jacks, or an overwrap. At this point, none of these were the case. The cause turned out to be what might normally be the case for other sailboats, but is not something I'm used to on Silverheels. In the wake of cinching down the main sheet last week, the leech, or the hypotenuse side of the mainsail, was tensioned as high as it would go while the luff of the sail was not fully extended. This was because the main sheet, the line used to let the sail out laterally or bring the sail in laterally, was artificially holding the boom down close to the deck. This is the default setting when in port to keep things safe. Now to get the main all the way up, the main sheet needs to be untensioned prior to fully raising the mainsail. Untensioning this sheet allows the boom to swing a bit when going into the wind. A swinging boom can be dangerous. It can knock somebody overboard. So I only let it out just enough to finish raising the sail. Now that's a good looking mainsail fully raised. Next, we just enjoyed sailing for a bit, enjoying a warm September evening, taking in the sights, and watching some other sailors around us enjoying themselves. It's now time to reef the mainsail while underway. Reefing is essentially bringing down the sail area to keep a sailboat from being overpowered from too much wind. The wind today is down at around 10 knots, which is not a normal condition to reef the sail. But the lower wind level makes things much easier to test the new rigging, as the sail will have less tension on it and the sea state is very flat. Reefing underway when you need to can be much bumpier and much more stressful. I bring reefing line 1 up to the mast so I can haul it in at the clew, and I'm now setting up to lower the main. The sailboat is pointing upwind and pinching, meaning we are steering so close to the wind that the sailboat loses speed. The sail's luff indicates some backward or suboptimal pressure from the wind. We do this to decrease tension on the sail so that it will fall easier. The sail is let down to the first reefing point, where a reefing kringle or eyelet on the luff comes down and is affixed to a ram's horn head, mounted where the boom meets the mast. The corresponding tack point on the leech of the sail is pulled down to the boom from the reefing line. The next step is to re-raise the halyard with the new tack points in place so that the sail is full and optimal with less sail area exposed to the wind. One thing I have not yet done is tie down the sail at the Reef 1 tie down points along the foot. I plan to do this after setting in the second reef. The process of reefing is repeated. The second reefing line is brought up to where the boom meets the mast and is at the ready. A seasoned eye might observe as I'm doing this that the sailboat is slowed down significantly from just having one reef in. Having only 2/3 of the mainsail up and 10 knots of wind is underpowering the sailboat. I will next lower the halyard to bring down the mainsail to the second reef point, attaching the kringle to the ram's head above the boom. Once attached, I re-tension the halyard and cleat it off so I can then freely pull in the reefing line, which pulls down the foot of the sail from the leech reef point. Lastly, I will tie down the 2 tie-down points at the foot of the sail. These tie-down points gather the excess sail that is not being used. Tying these down decreases the probability of sail damage and makes things safer. Notice I'm not tying these sails to the boom itself, but bundling the sail above it. I'm doing this cognizantly because in high winds I want to allow the space between the boom and the sail at the foot to leak air if needed, as my mainsail is loose-footed. Tying down the excess sail onto the boom might create more pressure on the boom than desired in high winds. We next shook out the reefs, raised the sail fully, and turned our attention to the beautiful migration of colors that sunset, dusk, and magic time would bring to the Chicago lakefront. enjoyed the video, and I especially hope you enjoyed the colors of the Chicago skyline shared during a Magic Time sail on Silver Heels. Please like the video and or provide comments. Let me know what you think. If you have not subscribed yet but stayed until the end of the video, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to support this and other content like this. I wish you fair winds and following seas.